Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of Wild Card Weekend on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Buffalo Bills. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Yes, nothing quite like Buffalo in January as we welcome you inside a snowy New Era field on the shores of Lake Erie. Today we continue on in Wild Card Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC wildcard game. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They are led out by the 15th overall selection in 2019, former Ohio State Buckeye Dwayne Haskins. Fourth-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. And he completes it to Westbrook. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
So the big question today is, how will they play in this weather? Because you can recreate moisture, right? You can do wet ball drills, things of that nature. But snow, you cannot create that in practice. You can't prepare for it. You just have to deal with it.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Haskins will throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Ballage. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. A look now at the Buffalo defense. They were very good last week in the win over the Saints.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game is sky high. In fact, you'd absolutely be stunned to come away with a loss.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Ballage. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
And the Jaguars send out their punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. Here's Jones. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. Ooh, what a move. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Watch the safety creep. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Kamara try the right side. They find some open field here. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now a first down throw. Lock. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. DJ Shark, 54 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, we knew they had the crowd on their side. Their defense has already made a stop, and now here's an opening drive touchdown.
Yeah, how about the defense making the stop, offense feeling their momentum that they've generated, and turning it into points on their side. So now you've got a team working together, and you get the crowd involved fully on their side in this ball game.
And in this playoff atmosphere, that 12th man means even more. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Boy, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And work with me here. Is this overhyped or not? You've got a warm weather team on the road in January, and it's cold. What's the deal? Is that a factor or is it not a factor?
I think a lot of it depends on the personality of your head coach and how you prepare for things. And some things you just can't prepare for. If you're coming from a warm weather site, you can't make it cold enough like it is here in this ball game. But what you can do is just tell the guys, dress for the weather and then play like we always play. And as the game goes along, typically those guys out there playing, you warm up enough that it really shouldn't affect you quite the same way. Now, if that's all you talk about, if you put that in the heads of your players, it'll affect them in a big way. Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And taken right on the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Here we go. Here we go. 11. Watch one. 12. There's a pop. 80 weapon. Big air. Hey, Foxtrot.
Out of the gun. Luck. This one complete to Lacey. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. So, again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing his Luck. Able to complete this one to McLeod. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20. This one over 30. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Jaguars. Cortland Sutton, 99 yards as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. So how about that for a backbreaker? Again, 99 yards.
And how about the audacity of the play call? When you're backed up that close to your goal line, usually you're just trying to run some type of a wedge play, a quarterback sneak, a dive, anything to try and create some room and take care of the ball. But that's confidence in your offensive line that they'll protect the guy throwing it, and he finds his guy for 99 yards. I love what they just did.
Keep playing.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Luck. And this one into the hands of DJ Sharp. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Love. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Bills have taken the lead.
How about that touchdown, partner? If you blinked, you probably missed it. I looked away for just a second, and they were in the end zone.
Elliott on for the extra point. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down, and that will be incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Andrew Luck now. He gears up to lead this offense again. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the one interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. They'll run on 1st down. Jones. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And now the throw taken in by Chark. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Now, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So 2 thoughts come to mind. 1, get some oxygen to fill up your lungs a little bit. And number 2, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Luck now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. From the red zone now, Luck. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. That's 3 touchdown passes now for Andrew Luck. And the Bills will add on to their lead. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And it's now 21-7. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
They run it with Balaj. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now Haskins to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And the Jaguars send out their punter. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. He only has a single solo carry, 1. Numero uno. Second quarter, they need to get in the ball more, don't they?
I'm not the greatest statistician in the world.
Yeah, you are.
But a back like that with only 1 carry kind of takes me back to college in the classroom. Not enough evidence to declare what you should do the rest of the game. Give him the ball some more and find out.
Will they incorporate him? We'll find out. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
11
Running right, Jones. He'll have a first down past the 40. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Ronald Jones, 74 yards. And the Bills will add on to their lead. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score. This will be fielded at the 6. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
Make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Looking to throw, Haskins. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The great blocking nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right. This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. On first down, Love. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know,
and that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. This time they stay on the ground. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. And the Jaguars send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. Fielded just inside the 20. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's the first of 2 games here on this Wild Card Sunday. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's AFC Wild Card game. But first, let's take a look back to yesterday's action.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And they have made this look easy. I mean, there's not supposed to be anything easy about the NFL playoffs, but this lead, yes, they're at home, but this has been impressive.
And we hear all the time when upsets happen, teams go on the road, that maybe home field advantage isn't all it's cracked up to be. But you and I both know the reality is teams really fight hard to get it. Why? You don't ever have to change routine. Everything's familiar going into the game. It makes things easier, and that has paid off for them in a big way in this contest.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And he winds up getting this all the way down to the Jags' 32-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a first carry for their fullback. Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
Check, check. 12. Fresno. Hey, watch it. 36. Hey, check.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or 2, huh?
Hey, I mean, and he'll will take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. DJ Chark, his second touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. But look, this is a team, Charles, they faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division, but they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game, a message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it culminates in a Bills touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Trey Flowers showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of...
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And the Jaguars send out their punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Fielded just inside the 30. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out come the Bills. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The road to be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. From the 44, Luck. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick, and he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You've got to just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
A pass there complete to Sutton. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run here with Blige, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar in some discomfort down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Check 50. Check 50.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Now it's Haskins. Well, he's going to go for it all. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Up from the secondary to make the tackle, Jalen Ramsey. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Again, it's Jones. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. One quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
3 down, 3 down. Switch! Mexico!
From the 39, Luck. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Watch the whip.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Now Jones. And some room to work. The 20. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A gain there of 30 big ones.
This has been a good drive so far. It's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And he is into end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. DJ Chark saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Elliott good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery's been pretty good too.
He's over 100 yards, has the one touchdown score to this point. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. That punt returns 66 yards, and it goes the distance as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead will swell by one more. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there.
Let's go, baby.
The Jaguars getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build on. Haskins hit, and he lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown. So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why.
And they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl.
And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause. Elliott good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it. But you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. Haskins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From midfield now, Haskins nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Another try after the first down sack. Haskins.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's Haskins to throw. The open man is Westbrook. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. Can't officially call this a win for them yet, but it's looking good to move on to the divisional round. They'll be on the road, of course, as an underdog. But the age-old question, would you rather have the momentum they're going to have or sitting at home with a bye? I'm sure you'd probably rather have the bye.
You remember that conference call we had before the playoffs started? We were talking with some people in the industry and some of the coaches that are out there, and we kind of posed the same question. You know, if you're coming off of a game like this, you know, and you're taking out a team that had that open week, which way do you want to go? And you remember the answer they gave us? I want the better team.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
I get it. But I think there's a lot to having that momentum of having played versus coming off of that layoff, because maybe you start a little bit slower. We see those upsets happen all the time.
12 yards that time, and a Bills first down.
Let's go.
This is where, you know, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively, kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, you know, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
And now a carry here for their fullback. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
12.
They'll try the air now with Love. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
They'll try and run with their fullback. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion.
Watch the ship. Hey, hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Check, 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 check. Showing it. Showing it.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down.
11.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. To throw on 2nd and 10. Luck, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And the Jags, Charles, I think they're in the dime here.
Covering a lot of field.
51 the mic, boy, 51. Man out, man.
Here's Luck. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. He's going to let it fly, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Haskins will throw. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all that yardage. That would be a big play.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing now, Luck. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
You got nothing today. You got nothing.
To throw is Luck. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on. Just 8 teams left.
The dream stays alive. Everyone's gunning for the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate. But you have to get there in incremental steps. One win today gets them one step closer.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. So long, everybody.